Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay Elizabeth, and I am a fantasy, romantasy author, self-published indie author. I only publish on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing and through Amazon Kindle Unlimited. And I come online pretty much every single month to tell you guys how much money I make as an indie author, just to keep things like transparent, to show you guys how many sales I made, how many page reads I got, and how much that equaled out to in royalties. I started doing this initially when I first started publishing in January 2023 because I hadn't really seen anyone talking about it other than if they were making like thousands of dollars a month and they went viral on like TikTok. And then sometimes there are the people that are like, I only made like $2 this month, but I'm still happy with it. And I love that attitude. So I just wanted to throw my numbers out into the ring and give you guys my experience. Also in these videos, I like to include some stuff about marketing because I only do like organic social media marketing. I don't pay for marketing. So I will include some stuff that I have found over the last month or so to be helpful, and hopefully you guys can take something away from that. So I currently have 4 books out right now. 3 are in a series and 1 is a standalone. This series will be completed but with a 4th book that I hope to put out by the end of the year. But so far, 4 books out, and I have my numbers right here. So in Kindle Unlimited, I had last month in April, I had 16,927 page reads. And then as far as orders go, whether it was hardback, paperback, or ebook, I had a total of 13 orders. So when you kind of break down the amount of page reads I get versus orders, most of my money comes from Kindle Unlimited. I know a lot of people are like hesitant to go into Kindle Unlimited, so if you either are in it or you're not in it and you have questions about it, feel free to drop me questions and I can make like a Kindle Unlimited Q&A. But obviously, since that's where most of my money comes from, like I kind of outweighed the pros versus the cons, and obviously the pros won. So I have stayed in Kindle Unlimited the entire time I've been publishing since January of 2023, and I've enjoyed it. I haven't had any issues with it personally, but I have seen and heard firsthand from other fellow indie authors some pretty crazy publishing horror stories from both Kindle Unlimited and from other platforms. So if you're ever curious just on my takes, I guess let me know. I could make a video about that. I would love to tell you how much money I made if Amazon wasn't being a jerk. Their mobile site needs a lot of improvements for the Kindle Direct Publishing dashboard. So overall for April, my royalties came out to be $111.62. Somebody kind of pointed out in my last video, like I kind of average around $100, and I have been lately, which I'm totally okay with. I think it's just a fun thing to share my art with the world and publish, and I do all the stuff myself. So it's kind of just extra like bonus money for me. Sometimes it helps with the bills, sometimes it helps with doing something fun. Just looking at this chart, I will post it as a screenshot up here. But I think it's kind of fun to see how it compares to the books. Also, by the way, if it says I have 10 selected books, I only have 4 out. I, A, published back in high school, so I had some books that I like archived from there. And then B, I fell into the side hustle like rabbit hole, and I tried doing the like low content books and like notebooks and things. And I sold a few notebooks not in this report, but a while ago. But let me tell you, selling low content books is not as profitable as a lot of the side hustle gurus make it seem. And in fact, selling high content books, aka novels, not as lucrative as some people might make it seem. As you can see, I made $111. So if you're looking for a get rich quick type of business model, publishing ain't it, let me tell you. But looking at this chart, really funny is the last day of April was my highest earning day, and that is because of like a new marketing tactic that I am using. So right now I have 2 TikTok accounts, and you can look at some of my videos. I'll like post one here about everything I do to market and one here about how I market on social media. So right now I have 2 TikTok accounts because I use TikTok the most to market, and one is like me, it's like my face, and I do some like POVs, and sometimes I talk in them and whatever. And then I set up a new account. This is relatively new. Maybe like 6 months ago by now, I set up a second TikTok account where I do mostly slideshow content because slideshows don't do well on my main account. So I set up a new account, and those ones have been doing fairly well, like getting more views than my personal page gets, which is really funny to me. I don't know, it's just silly that like a different account with a different type of content niche would perform so drastically different, but just goes to show you marketing is a lot of experimentation. So that big day that I had at the very end of April, and I think the first day of May was another big day because I had one of those slideshow carousel posts on my second account get like 4,000 views, and then I like it did well. My book got some reads. So hopefully people keep reading through the series. That's kind of what I'm struggling with the most, is like getting some read-through rate, because the series is not totally complete. So I think a lot of people are hesitant to start a series that they don't know when it's going to finish. Like I said, I do want to get it out by the end of this year. I'm hoping before November. So yeah, we'll see. It's like half written, because the third book was supposed to be the end, and then it got super duper long, and then I split it into two, and then fleshed out the third book, and now I have to flesh out the fourth book. So it's like mostly written, mostly outlined, but there's like lots of scenes that still need to happen. I just need to flesh out certain scenes that are in progress, like piecing it all together, weaving it all together. So maybe my marketing advice for this video is to kind of just try different things, and if something's not working on one account, honestly, try something new on a different account, because apparently not showing my face is what the book talk algorithm desires. The other thing that is really funny about my sales is that the first book in my series does really well. And I think that's because it can be totally read as a standalone if you want to read it as a standalone. It was originally meant to be a standalone, and then I had these other stories that really fit very closely to this character and into this world. And then I started making it like an interconnected series. So you can read the first two books either alone or out of order. And then the third book brings in a completely new character, but then it also like weaves in those two storylines. So the third book would be just super duper confusing if you haven't read the first two. But if someone wants to give that a go and let me know how it feels as a reader, honestly, I'd be intrigued. So the first book in my series does well, and then my standalone did pretty good too, which is interesting because I don't really market it very much. It's a Hades and Persephone like romance retelling, very much what you would expect from like a romantasy author for a Hades and Persephone retelling. I have been told that it has like a very different take that people really enjoy. So I'm kind of trying to narrow down how I can market that, like what hooks there are, and figure out some tried and true marketing hooks for this book called Crowned by Death. But that was kind of my marketing update. As far as just regular updates for this channel goes, and for me, you might notice this is the side of my desk that you don't usually see, or you see like part of it from over here. Camera's usually pointing this way. Hi, Nova. Do you want to say hi to the people? Oh, this is Nova. Nova says hi. Okay, can you give me a little room? Thank you. So I am redoing a bunch of stuff in the house, and I don't really have like filming set up anymore. So if I have like random backgrounds, or I keep changing backgrounds, or my lighting isn't amazing, please bear with me. It's going to be a wild ride. Also, if my posting is inconsistent, that's why. I just have a lot going on right now. I do hope to make a lot more videos. I just kind of do it when I have time, and that's on top of like my 9 to 5, finishing my series, just life. So that's where I'm at, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!